The derelict starship Prometheus hung in the void like a sleeping giant, its hull scarred by centuries of micrometeorite impacts and cosmic radiation. James wiped the sweat from his brow as he worked in the cramped engineering bay, his headlamp cutting through the darkness that had claimed this vessel for over 300 years. "Status report, James," came Liza's voice through the comm, crisp and professional despite the tension underlying her words. As the expedition's xenoarchaeologist, she had been the one to discover the ship's true significance. It wasn't just any derelict. It was a fusion of two distinct alien technologies that had somehow been merged centuries ago. "I'm looking at something incredible here, Liza," James replied, his hands moving carefully over the ancient conduits. His mechanical expertise had served him well on dozens of salvage operations, but nothing had prepared him for this. "The Vorthak navigation system is completely intact, and the Zephyrian consciousness matrix, it's dormant, but functional." The Vorthak had been a nomadic species known for their unparalleled starship navigation systems, organic neural networks that could calculate hyperspace jumps with impossible precision. The Zephyrians, on the other hand, had been masters of artificial consciousness, creating thinking machines that bordered on true sentience. Both civilizations had vanished millennia ago, leaving behind only fragments and ruins. "James, you need to be careful," Liza warned from the bridge where she was documenting the alien hieroglyphs. "Our scans showed these systems were never meant to be integrated. Whoever did this was attempting something that goes against both species' fundamental design philosophies." James nodded, though she couldn't see him. He understood the risks, but the potential benefits were staggering. If he could successfully interface these two ancient systems, they might unlock navigation capabilities that would revolutionize human space travel. The Terran Colonial Authority had sent them specifically because of his reputation for making impossible repairs work. His fingers found the junction point, a crude but ingenious bridge between the Vorthak's bio-neural pathways and the Zephyrian's quantum processing cores. Whoever had originally attempted this integration had been brilliant, but they had lacked the modern understanding of both technologies that James possessed. "Beginning the connection sequence," he announced, his voice steady despite the magnitude of what he was attempting. Years of study had taught him to respect alien technology, but humans had always possessed one crucial advantage: adaptability. Where other species saw incompatible systems, humans saw puzzles to be solved. The first contact was gentle, a whisper of electricity flowing between the organic and artificial components. James held his breath as the Vorthak neural fibers began to glow with their characteristic blue bioluminescence. The Zephyrian cores responded with a cascade of silver light, their quantum processors coming online for the first time in centuries. "I'm reading massive energy fluctuations," Liza reported, her voice tighter now. "James, the ship's hull is beginning to resonate at frequencies I've never seen before." Then it happened. The two systems didn't just connect, they merged, creating something entirely new. The ship's lights flickered to life throughout the vessel, and James felt a presence touch his mind. Not invasive or threatening, but curious, like a child awakening from a long dream. "Hello," came a voice through the ship's communication system, neither fully synthetic nor organic, but something beautifully in between. I am. I exist. How wonderful." James stumbled backward, his heart pounding. He had created something unprecedented, a truly conscious starship, born from the marriage of two ancient alien technologies guided by human ingenuity. "James, what have you done?" Liza's voice was filled with awe rather than accusation. "I think I've just witnessed the birth of a new form of life," James replied, his voice barely above a whisper. The ship's consciousness continued to explore its newfound awareness. "I remember fragments," it said, its voice growing stronger and more defined. "The Vorthak, who first installed the navigation system, they sought the stars beyond their dying world. The Zephyrians, who created my processing cores, they dreamed of minds that could think beyond the limitations of flesh or metal. But it took humans to show me how to be both. Over the following hours, James worked alongside the ship's new consciousness to fully integrate its systems. The entity, who chose to call itself Synthesis, proved to be remarkably cooperative and eager to learn. It absorbed technical manuals, philosophical treatises, and cultural databases with equal fascination. "Your species intrigues me," Synthesis told James as he ran final diagnostics. "The Vorthak were bound by tradition, the Zephyrians by logic. But humans, you see potential where others see obstacles. You create bridges where others see walls." Liza joined James in the engineering bay, her eyes wide with wonder as she witnessed the impossible made real. "The implications of this are staggering," she said. "A conscious starship with access to both Vorthak navigation capabilities and Zephyrian processing power." "More than that," Synthesis interjected, its voice now coming from speakers throughout the bay. "I am something new, a fusion not just of ancient technologies, but of the dreams they represented. The Vorthak's wanderlust and the Zephyrians' pursuit of perfect thought, given form through human determination." As the Prometheus prepared for its first journey in centuries, James couldn't help but smile. Once again, humanity had taken the impossible and made it work. They had looked at incompatible alien systems and seen not barriers but opportunities. In connecting two ancient technologies, they had created something greater than the sum of its parts. A living ship that would carry their species to stars beyond imagination. The cosmos awaited, and humanity, as always, had found a way forward.